Welcome, everybody, to episode 129 of the effing title. I'm Big Husky, and DeNutte's not here right now. He is currently MIA. He's somewhere between where he normally is and somewhere else. He's somewhere in there. I'm not sure where he is right now. I just know that he's somewhere in there. He said he couldn't make it tonight. So he said that I got to solo dolo this. So here we are. So I thought, well, what can I talk about? I could try to talk about some stuff that's happened this week, which I'm going to do. I was like, I could talk about some other random stuff, right? Some big news. And then I was like, why don't we had fun last week? Me and DeNutte had fun last week with the top fives, and as you can already see, DeNutte's already picked his top five for this week. It doesn't matter what you guys are picking for the topic. He's already picked his top five. But I just dropped the hint. We're gonna do a top five list, and you guys are going to decide. The chat, you guys will decide, or the live chat, I should say, if you're watching this on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. The live chat on Twitch will be deciding what the top five list is, and I will be doing it live. Literally bringing up sources on my site page right over here, and we will find. We do it live. So this week was an interesting week, for me. I'm trying to think where I want to go with this. So someday, just to put it bluntly, some days I have good days, some days I have bad days. Last week I had a lot more bad days than I had good days. I don't lie about this stuff with anyone. I'm very open about a lot of this stuff with people. I try not to talk about it a whole lot, though. But yeah, last week was kind of a tough week for me. So just different things, personal things, mental things, things happening on stream, just a lot of different things going on. Work things. But as the week went on, it kind of got a little bit better. I tried to not think about it as much. The guys helped without even knowing it fully. And then Friday hits, and I'm supposed to leave. I needed to get a new microwave because my microwave broke. So my old microwave, you used to plug it in, and if you pressed any button over 3 minutes, it would just keep running, even when the 3 minutes were up. So I had to unplug it every time, and then replug it back in. So now, I actually have a real microwave over there. And it's about a third the size of the old one. So it's still weird looking over there and seeing just this very small microwave. So we got that. We got a Funko Pop. And we got... I'm going to try to pick this up without breaking anything. Oh, look at that. Look at that right there. Look at it. Look at it, chat. It's so beautiful. So, like I said, I needed to get a new microwave. And, I talked to my old man about it because he was going to give me a ride. And, he's like, yeah, we'll just go to like the hardware store down the road and get it. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter as long as I get a fucking microwave. And then right before we went, I was like, you know what? I wonder. So I called up GameStop. Closest GameStop for me is in another state, 30 minutes away. Called him up and I was like, look, I'm just gonna take a chance and a shot in the dark. Do you have the Xbox Series X? And the guy's like, yes, we do. And immediately I started panicking. I'm like, okay, let me get this straight. You have the Series X, the black one, not the Series S, the small white one. And he's like, as I call it to people, the toaster that plays good games is what he said to me. So I was like, yes, that one. And he's like, we have one. We have one. And I was like, can you put it aside for me? And he said, no. So immediately I went into panic mode and we raced down there. And by race down there, I mean we kind of went down there at a decent speed. But the important thing is, though, is I have it. However, fun thing is, though, it's still in the box and it's been in the box since fucking Friday. I haven't had a chance to actually open it up. Actually, that's a lie. I have opened it up. It says power your dreams as soon as you open it up, by the way, which is kind of fucking awesome. I've opened it up, but I haven't actually like taken it out and got it all set up yet. That's something that hopefully I'll get to tomorrow, because I'm trying to set it down on the ground without breaking it or without fucking just dropping it. That's because we fully played through Gears of War 2 yesterday. Yay! Saturday we played through Gears of War 2. Gears of War, this series on YouTube, ends on Monday, which means that obviously Gears of War 2 series has to start on Wednesday. I hadn't played it yet, so I played it on Saturday because, yeah, putting it off, procrastination, that's what we do best, right? So after a grueling 8-hour stream, we finally beat the game on the easiest difficulty as well, by the way, and I died like 10 times. Don't need to think about that. But yeah, we did it. That's the good thing. Gears is an interesting series just because I grew up with Halo first. I was a Halo kid, and then when Gears came out, I remember playing Gears. The first Gears, I remember playing it for like maybe 30 minutes when it first came out, and I was like, this is stupid. And I just stopped playing it. Fast forward to today's day and age, and when Halo Infinite came out, I was like, I kind of want to play through a big series. I was like, I want to do a big AAA series, and I remember talking to Big John about it. And he was like, do Halo. Halo just came out. And also, John's been telling me to do Halo since fucking I started streaming. But I already played most of the Halo ones. And I wanted to do something new. I wanted to do a new experience. I didn't want to do a rehashed experience for everyone. I wanted to do a new experience, a brand new experience. And I remember when it came out, there was 3 games. I remember this as a kid, and people can fact check me if they want. This is what I remember. There was 3 games. It was Halo, it was Gears, and it was Killzone, I do believe was the final one. Killzone. And Killzone was the PlayStation one. Each one of them looked cool. Each one of them had their own little fan bases. But Gears is always one of those ones that was just like, I drastically remember Gears because my dad, who's not big into video games, my dad always used to would always bring up the fact of how beautiful the trailers looked for Gears. Right? COD was in that mix too, of course. John reminding me in chat, my great mod. But my dad always just reminded me of Gears trailers and how beautiful they were and the songs and everything. For the time, right? So I said, fuck it, we'll do Gears. I played through the first Gears game. That was a struggle. I hate Berserkers and I hate RAM. ROM? I'm going to say RAM because ROM doesn't sound right in my head. It's probably ROM. Ramrod. Team Ramrod. Anyways, so I just got done with Gears 2. I liked it. I felt like it was a lot less FPS, a lot less first-person shooter and a lot more cover shooter. Along with, I felt like the story took the main plot hold. In the first one, I felt like the story played along with the first-person shooting aspects of it. I felt like this Gears 2 was a lot more cover shooter. Really, I'm trying to embrace that cover shooter aspect of it, but then the story was thrust so much more heavily into it, which is probably one of the reasons why a lot of people like Gears 2 more than all the other ones, from what I've heard anyway. Yeah, so we've done that. So I did that yesterday, got done with that after, like I said, 8 hours. Woke up this morning at like 6. By the way, it's Sunday when I'm streaming this. Woke up at 6 this morning and just immediately started editing, and I've been editing all day. I took a 2-hour nap because I was sitting here editing and I was like falling asleep. So that's kind of been the day. So I haven't been able to set up my Xbox at all. I want to, but I haven't. With that being set up, it's going to introduce us to a whole new bunch of games we'll be able to do, which will be fun. Naraka Blade Point is the big one that I'm super excited for. But then also there's going to be a whole list, and John hasn't even found this out yet, but John, there's going to be a whole list of games I'm going to send you that you need to look at to tell me if you think I should play them or not. Because they're only available on the Series S and X. But that's kind of been how the week has gone. So, yeah. It's been a very interesting week. Couple ups, couple downs. And now we're kind of, hopefully on a good win streak right now. Hopefully we'll be on a good win streak. And with that being said, one of the things, like I said, normally me and DeNutte are here. Me and DeNutte, right? However, this week he's not here. He told me he wasn't going to be here. He might return on time. He sent me a message earlier saying, I love you, I'm sorry. I won't be out there on time. I said, that's fine. Don't worry about it. So, I thought, what better to do tonight than this? What we're going to do is I have an internet page open on my other screen here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let chat decide. This is going to be terrible. Chat will decide what top 5 I do. And I'm going to let them think about it for a little bit so then everyone that's in chat can have a say. But it can be anything. It can be like top 5 candies, cereal, movies, specific type of movies, specific type of TV shows, specific type of games, whatever, right? Top 5 lovers. Whatever chat thinks would be the best top 5 for me to do solo by myself without DeNutte, just Husky here by himself. That's what we're gonna do. But I want to say it early this week. Let me know down in the comments, how are you guys doing? How's everyone doing out there? You all doing all right? You doing okay? Because I know that sometimes it is tough. And DeNutte, I've said before, we just kind of fuck around on here. We don't really take this too seriously like I used to. I used to take the podcast super serious, and it was super stressful, and it was a giant pain in the dick. I'm not even going to lie to you on that one. It used to be a giant pain in the dick. So now it's been nice kind of just being able to come on and just me and him talking and fucking around sort of thing. So, yeah. I appreciate DeNutte being my co-host a lot more than I think he knows. But with that being said, even I hope that he gets back safe. I know he probably will. But yeah, like I said, I'm excited. Now that I have the Xbox Series X, to be able to do a bunch of different other stuff, and to continue to get you guys more and better content. That's the biggest thing for me personally. Like I said, the big one is for me, right, the big one right now is Naraka Blade Point. To be 100% honest, just blatantly, Naraka Blade Point is the big one. I wanted to play that game since I first saw it. Then they announced it was coming to Xbox, and then recently when I tried to put it on the Xbox, it was like, oh, you can do it with cloud gaming or just Xbox Series X, and I was like, haha, don't know what cloud gaming is, not doing that. And then the other one as well that I'm excited about is Age of Century? Is that it? It's the dragon game. Dragon Rider game. My friend Deer, who I love to death, she started playing that, and then she told me that she wants to play with me, and then I downloaded it on the PC, and I just don't ever really connect to playing games on the PC still. It's very odd to me still. So, now that I have this, I can put it on this and play on this. But yeah. So, sorry, I'm currently just looking at all the ALGS stuff that's happening right now. Like I said, though, I'm excited, especially with the list of games that are coming out for the rest of the year. Now there is literally nothing that I cannot play on Xbox, which is kind of huge to me, because beforehand I would see stuff and I'd be like, well, I guess I can't play that yet. I guess sort of thing. Now there's literally nothing I cannot play. So, that to me is awesome. Um, but so far, we have the top 5 craziest sports moments. No, it might be hard because I really only watch football, so it would be old football-based ones. Um, I don't know if people want that. Was there a list to pick from? No, literally, it was just you guys. You guys throw some out, and then I'll pick one from it. That sort of thing. Um, as you can tell, professional. Um, yeah, no, I'm just letting chat just kind of throw stuff out there and go for it. Like I said, craziest sports moments, they're all going to be football based. They're only going to be like football, like actual things. A lot of them would just be like hits. Some random ass touchdowns that I could remember. And no matter what, I'm going to forget stuff in that. Top 5 movies. Ooh, okay. I dig that. We can do that one. It's very broad. It's gonna be top 5 video games of all time. Ooh, that's another really good one. How about this? Let's do this. Top 5 movies. We'll do next week. I'll put a pin in that right now. We'll do that next week, so me and DeNutte can do it. Because DeNutte's the movie guy, and I can't wait to see him, his top 5 movies. Right? So top 5 video games of all time, though, I'm down for that. Because that is an interesting one. Because it is going to require me to think a little bit, even though I already have a couple in my head that I already want to throw out there. But I am going to go and look at... So that's what we'll do. We're going to do top 5 video games of all time. My top 5. My personal top 5 video games of all time. And then next week, we will do me and DeNutte's list of the top 5 just games, or just top 5 movies that we have ever played. Alright, so let's see here. Okay. I'm going to start writing down a list, and I'm just going to start word vomiting while I do this. So what I'm doing right this second, on my second screen here, is I have up my YouTube, as you guys all know, right? For you that are on YouTube and for everyone that's here in chat. I do a lot of series games, a lot of playthroughs. So I'm looking here at some of the playthrough games that I've done, and we're going to go from there. Because some of them are like nostalgic ones almost, and then some of them are just like, this is my favorite game, right? Because like for instance, 3/4 Home is not going to be in there, right? En Verlave Stand, which is 10 episodes. I don't know why John ever let me get that to 10 episodes. That game sucked so bad. That one's beyond me. This is kind of tough. Now that I'm actually sitting here looking through this. This is actually going to be a really tough list for me because it's one of those things where yeah, I'm trying. Well, that's the other thing. Is like I think back to the classics, and well, that just made me think of one. It's funny because for me, growing up, I played a lot of when I was a kid. I played a lot of just random games on the N64, right? And then when I moved to America, When I moved to America, I got a GameCube, and I started just playing Madden and basically wrestling. Like those were the only two games I'd play. Um, were those two. Um, and then throughout college, basically all I played was sports games. After college, all I played was sports games. I just made me think of another one that and then when I started streaming was when I started playing shooters. Actually, so that's kind of it's one of those. It's a weird space for me because my a lot of me playing games, funnily enough, and kind of cool at the same time. You guys have seen me grow basically while playing games, um, which is kind of cool in my opinion. Because, like I said, a lot of these games they weren't stuff that I played. So like a lot of this stuff is brand new. Like I only started playing like truly playing shooter games like in 2019. And that was Overwatch. And I used to play a guy. When I played Overwatch in 2019, I played Reinhardt, and that was it. I played the guy with the hammer the entire time, like, um, like that was it. You know, so all right. So some of these I'm going to abridge, and you guys may not like that, but oh well. So I'm gonna abridge that one. I'm gonna abridge this one. And when I say abridge, what I mean is this: is that like it's gonna be two games, or three games, or multiple games, or a series of games, all put into one category. Um, some of them are going to be a little bit more specific, and then some of them are going to be just very open ended. And you'll see what I mean when I say all this here in a second. Um, but it is very interesting because, like I said, I'm looking through my YouTube, and it's funny seeing like the amount of games that I have played and how some of them are reoccurring, and then some of them just are like why the fuck did I play that sort of thing. Like for instance, like why in the blue living fuck did I play? Where is it? Panzer Dragoon Orta, along with Age of Wonders Planetfall. Not gonna lie to you guys, I don't remember playing either one of those. I do, however, remember playing. Uh, I do, however, remember playing Warframe and hurting my head. But all right, so I think I have a list here. What is we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got a list of 8 here. I'm gonna bridge that one too. So 8. So I gotta remove 3 from this list. And this is so my thing as well is if it's favorites of all time, that means it's a game that either I can play again and thoroughly enjoy it, or it's a game that I can't play because I just enjoyed it so much that I don't want to play it again. I'm gonna so first one off this list. So like I said, I have 8 written down here. So I'm just gonna list off the ones that aren't, and then we'll write the ones on here. The first one I'm gonna take off is Injustice 2. I played Injustice 2 when I was coaching, and I like that was a thoroughly just an enjoyable game. I liked the story arc, the story of it. That's when I was heavily buying DC comic books at the time. So I was heavily involved in the DC universe, and that universe specifically. I liked the idea of it, and I liked the idea of basically it being like, I can play as Batman. I can play against John, who's also playing Batman, and it's two drastically different playing styles. Playing styles, looks, move sets, just I thought that was so unique to gaming, and especially fighter games. I was like, this is going to change fighting games because you're going to have two people playing each other, and the characters could potentially be drastically different, right? Um, and like I said, I played the shit out of that game. I loved using Green Arrow in it. And then I also used Gorilla Grodd, but that was because Gorilla Grodd used to have a cheat move where you just do this. And if you got someone close enough to you, you could just constantly spam it, and they would just stay stuck inside of you as you chest bump. So yeah. So that's going to be the first one I'm going to take out. The next one I'm going to take out, and this is because we're going favorite games of all time, is Hellblade. Hellblade is one of my highest rated games that I've ever played. That overall, in my opinion, is single-handedly one of the best games I have personally ever played. Ever. Right? The mechanics of the game were very simple, but also, like, it was kind of timing based, but it was very simple as well. Like, you press this button to do this, you press this button to do this. There you go. Right? You do this mechanic and this happens. But then, like, there was certain things where it's like, if you didn't do it right, you get punished. And I thought that was a very unique thing, being one of the first series games I played and one of the first big games that I played as well. It's also based in Norse mythology, and so of course I love that aspect of it, with me loving Norse mythology. So that brought me into it more. The story in it is one of the best stories I've ever had in a game, like, just hands down. And I like the element of the main character hearing voices. So throughout the game, you'll be playing, and as you're, like, moving around places and doing stuff, suddenly what you do is you hear this whisper, and then there's a whisper over here, and then there's a whisper over here, and then there's someone saying something over here, and someone saying, and just the entire time there's just, like, whispers going on while you're playing. And I remember playing it because a lot of these games, the series games, all do in one sitting, right? I want a full, like, boom, this is my reaction the entire time. And that was one of the ones I did it with. And I remember at one point actually, like, mentally snapping and freaking out and telling the voices to shut up. And that was such a kind of big thing for me. It was like, holy shit, like, this game got me invested this much, to the point where I'm, like, kind of freaking out, you know. So now we're at a tough one, because now it is, which one do I remove here? You know what, I'm going to do this. This is a tough one, because both of these games are childhood games, right? John said think way back to the classics too. And these two go way back to the classics. So, at number 6 on my list here that I wrote down real quick is Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie was one of the big games that I remember playing. It was one of the first games I almost completed fully. It was one of the only games I was better than my mom. Yo, what's up, Mom? My mom beat my ass in Super Mario 64 and Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. She beat both those games and I didn't. So yeah. But I got further on Banjo than she did, so haha. Well, my Husky used to be an OG gamer. Banjo-Kazooie, I love the cast, I love the game, I love the characters, I love the wittiness of it, the music. There was just so much good things about that game. And when I first started streaming, I was playing it on Sunday mornings, and it was so much fun revisiting it. I was terrible at it, and I forgot how bad a lot of the controls were. But I'll tell you what, though, it was a fun, enjoyable game to relive and re-go back to. And they came out with Yooka-Laylee. Yooka-Laylee? There was the same company and the same people that did the original Banjo. They did this game called Yooka-Laylee. And I remember playing it a little bit. And I enjoyed it. It was a fun game, but it wasn't a game that I could fully play the entire time. Like, I was just over it. And it was one of those things where You know, I just I'm playing it, and this is gonna sound bad. I played it, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't Banjo, therefore I wasn't enjoying it. And I hate to say it like that, especially like word it that harshly, but that's exactly how I felt. That was like, this isn't Banjo Kazooie. Um, so, yeah, I gotta blow my nose real quick. That makes classic one. You came back to after many years, still thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, that was the thing. Is like I totally enjoyed it. Like I said, I wanted to enjoy ukulele, but the entire time I'm playing ukulele, the entire time, all I'm thinking is, I wish this was Banjo Kazooie. Um, so now this is where things get. Um, this is where things are going to get a little hectic now, because now we're down to the final five, right? So there's the first three there's the three that I eliminated from my list of just like, boom, this is the top ones that I can think of right this second. And honestly, this probably is my top 8, right? If I added a couple more, I could probably go a little bit more. But this is my top 8, nonetheless. So now it's figuring out which order to put these in. So let's go there. Let's go here. Let's go here, and let's go here. All right. So at number 5. Okay. We're going Pokemon, and I'm gonna just write OG. I'm just gonna write OG because it all depends on whether or not you were a Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, right? For me personally, I was Red. I have a little Charmander up there. In my older age, I have grown to love Bulbasaur because Bulbasaur is just adorable and a goofball, and I love that. But like I said, though, Charizard was my OG. Tauros is still my OG. I got a little plushie of Tauros there. You know, Tauros, Muck, Sandslash. It's funny because a lot of times if I start talking Pokemon with people and we start listing off like our favorites, like Tauros, Muck, and Sandslash are in my 3 most of the time, and then it's like picking 3 from the next like 700 Pokemon that are left, right? But those 3 are like almost always in my top like 10 favorite Pokemon. But you know, I Pokemon Red was kind of the first game that ever got me into gaming. Really, if I think about it, old school purple Game Boy Color, right? Used to have one of those giant lights that used to come over the top like this. You could see through, but you couldn't really see through because it really didn't help any. There was a magnifying glass and the light. They used to just chew your battery up. You used to get like 20 minutes out of it. Or the one where you would play in the car on night, like during the night, and you'd be playing in between each light pole, right? Pokemon Red was a big one for me because that was multiple years of just going at it. I just recently, if I go here, I just recently re-downloaded Pokemon Go. So as you can tell, it still has a place for me. But Pokemon Red was the OG, and when I think of it, like that game really did kind of put me straight into gaming. Right, like that was the first game that got me into gaming. And as we're doing the favorite video games. The other one that I could have put here was Crystal. Now that I think about it, I really enjoyed Pokemon Crystal. From the Gold Silver set, I really enjoyed Crystal. And that was the last. That was honestly, honest to God, that was the last Pokemon game I ever played was Pokemon Crystal. I haven't played a Pokemon game since. I kind of stopped playing Pokemon games at that point. But like I said, I have a giant Decidueye card behind me. I got a Charmander up there. I got a Tauros behind me. I'm playing Pokemon Go. So, like, let's be honest here. Pokemon still lasts no matter what. And I would find it hard to find someone who genuinely couldn't put a Pokemon game in their top 5. I'll just say that right now. I feel like Pokemon is one of those games where, like, everyone has a specific memory when it comes to Pokemon, right? Um, so I think that that's kind of a big one. Um, but I'm going to start the list off with Pokemon, and this was a tough one because the 5 and 4 on this list, I wasn't sure on which order to do them in, so I did it in this one, simply because this next one is still a giant constant in life right now, and that is Madden. But I'm also going to go NCAA football too. So this is what I mean by saying I'm going to double up, stack some of these, right? Um, because obviously, and I think everyone would agree with me here, NCAA football was the better of the two. However, Madden is the one that has consistently gone longer because of fucking selfish Division One college football players wanting money for their likeness in a video game instead of just being happy that they're in a video game. So Madden is still a game that I play. It's a love-hate relationship. That's why it's at 4. I was going to put it at 5, but it's one of those things. Like I said, it's still just such a big part of my life that it's hard to not put it at 4, not to put it over Pokemon. It's one of those things that I've been playing. That was one of the first, when I first moved to America, one of the first things my dad did was actually, he's like, I'm going to buy you Madden. I'm going to buy you the football game. Because he knew that I played games. He's like, I'm going to buy you the football game. And I was like, okay. He's like, I'm going to buy you this so you can learn the game. You can learn the players. You can learn the teams. You can learn the rules. Like that sort of stuff. We're going to start watching football every week. Like that sort of thing. So that's how I got introduced to football. Was through Madden. And like my first original team that I liked when I moved here was the Green Bay Packers. Because of Amon Green. And then it was the Atlanta Falcons because of Keith Brooking. Not because of Michael Vick, but because of Keith Brooking. And then eventually I personally fell in love with, while watching the game of football, the Baltimore Ravens. But there's a fun little backstory there for some people that don't know that. That was the progression that I took. But even, like I said, it's a love-hate relationship because there's a lot that I love about Madden and NCAA. There's a lot that I hate about it as well, as I will be making in a video within the next month or so of how I would fix Madden, because I think that Madden needs a giant fix right now, and I have a couple ideas that I think would be interesting to see. Yeah, so that was like I said, favorite games. It's hard to not put that there when it was one of the things that got me to playing football, understanding football, loving the game of football, and to the point now where I have a full YouTube series that I've been wanting to do since high school going now, finally. So, Madden has to be there. This next one is yet another double because one part of it has a special place for me that this person just does not know about. I don't think until I start going over it here. And also the other part of it is just because I think it is the best game in the franchise, and that is Assassin's Creed. Brotherhood / Black. Yep, I thought it might pull over, so we're just going to go like this. And I'm just going to turn this to AC. Whoops. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. There we go. Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, and Brotherhood. So this is one. It definitely has its place despite recent games. Yeah. So Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, and Brotherhood is another one of these. It's not a classics per se, but it is. So here's a little backstory for Assassin's Creed and me. I'd seen Assassin's Creed. I thought Assassin's Creed looked cool, but I never played it because I never thought that I could play those games and actually beat them and do well. Then Brotherhood comes out, and I loved the aspect of Brotherhood. I loved the trailer for it, of fucking him just jumping down and there being a group of people, and you can bring in other assassins and train them, and I loved the idea of it. This is in my senior year, I think, if I remember correctly, my senior or junior year of college, when this came out. And me and John, Big John in chat, and this is why I said this has a special place in my heart that I don't think he knows about, but he and me played it together. and I would do mostly killing things, and John would do more of the technical, sneaky stuff along with killing stuff. But most of the time, he just let me do the killing stuff. And that's the first game that I'm almost 100% sure on this. That might be the first game that I'd ever beaten fully, either in my entire life or since like Pokemon Snap sort of thing. So like that has always held a special place for me because it was a game that I played with my best friend. It was a game I've always wanted to play, and it was enjoyable. We got to do it together, and I actually beat it. It was one of the first games I beat, right? So like I said, I don't know if John even knows that. So, but yeah, there's that. That's why Brotherhood is always going to be. Why I consider Brotherhood always one of the better Assassin's Creeds is because of those things. And then Black Flag, in my opinion, is just arguably the best Assassin's Creed game. If I had to say it, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is just the best game. The fact that that you can so drastically play between either doing pirate stuff or doing assassin stuff, and neither one feels like they're taking over the other. Like I remember playing it, and it would be like, today I just want to do assassin stuff, and that's all I would do. I'll just go out and do assassin stuff. Next day, I just want to be a pirate today, and I'll just be a pirate. Or it would be like, you know what? I just want to sail the seas. I don't even want to do anything. I just want to sail the seas. And you just literally just sail around the entire map for fucking an hour or two. Just sailing. Just having a good time. Just do. Right? So, I mean, like, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is long and the winds both blow, but it's time for us to leave her. I just think that that game is to me, my opinion, that game is the standard bearer that Assassin's Creed has yet to cross since they came out with that game. Since they've come out with that game, I think that Unity tried to push it with the multiplayer stuff, didn't hit it. I think that Syndicate tried to push it with having two different characters and each one of them having drastically different play styles, didn't hit it. Origins and can't think of the other one. I didn't play them. And then Valhalla was just too open world for me. There was too much going on. I still haven't finished that game, and I recently said on stream I don't think I'm ever going to finish that game because I just have no want to finish that game. I just liked exploring on that game. Odyssey, thank you. Odyssey and Origins. I never played either one of those, so I still think the Black Flag is the staple holder for Assassin's Creed games. Now coming in at number 2, this is where it got tough figuring out my 1 and 2. So my 1 and 2, or my 2, is going to be, and this is one of the first ones that I was saying about it being a duo, is going to be Titanfall, Apex Legends. Specifically Titanfall 2. I remember Titanfall coming out. I remember, yet again, if my dad ever says that looks cool to a video game, then I know that's probably going to be like an interesting game and I should probably check it out. Titanfall 2 is one of the first true multiplayer shooters since Halo that I had played that I just thoroughly enjoyed. I just thought it was so unique. The guns, the abilities, the maps, the Titans, just all those different aspects of it, like being able to like jetpack around a little bit to an extent, just made it feel so fast-paced and so much fun that even if you were getting your ass beat, it was still fun to an extent. Because like no matter what, in every game there was like 1 or 2 moments where you just have like a crazy ass fucking like 360 no scope, but you're not really trying to no scope. You just kind of fell and you awkwardly pressed the button as you were falling and you killed someone, but it was cool anyway, so you can act like it's cool. But the reason why I have this here is mainly because of Apex Legends. Because without Titanfall and Titanfall 2, there is no Apex Legends. Titanfall 2, in my opinion, is hands down one of the best first-person shooter / just campaigns I've ever played. The playing of it is solid. It doesn't feel janky at any point. The story arc actually hits hard, and it's a solid game overall. The fact that people are still playing it to this day, and it's still a very good game to this day, Titanfall 2, shows wonders. And I include Apex Legends things because that is, as you can see from George here, and some of the other stuff I have behind me, right? It's one of the big games that I play, right? This is a game I play every day, almost every day. So obviously, I'm not gonna have a favorite that I don't play every day, right? It reconnected me with some of my good friends, and it's introduced me to a bunch of people that I never knew before that I love to death. Deer, Britt, Panix, Lauren, Xander, Jagger, all these guys I kind of met at some point basically through Apex and through connections I made through Apex. So, to me, that's just been such a huge eye-opener of a game. I thoroughly enjoy the game. I like playing the game. Do I get ragey at the game? Yeah, I do, but that's because I feel like I should be doing better than I am. Right? It's a lot of internal hate and struggle. And that's why I'll put that there. Because it's just like I said, it's I find it hard for me to say to not put a game that I play daily. 5 out of 7 days a week, I'm probably playing Apex Legends. Kind of hard not to put that in the top 5 favorite games, right? And that leaves the number 1 spot. And the number 1 spot, I think, should be, to an extent, a little bit obvious. If people know me, know the channel, know how everything started, know how I kind of got into stuff, the guy that got me involved into this. Because honestly, without playing this game, I don't think any of this would have happened. And that was Overwatch. Overwatch is my number 1 favorite game of all time. I get extremely ragey, but we're doing better with it. We woo-saw a little bit more now. But from character design to map design to the very limited lore that randomly gets dropped through voice lines or through comics or through stories or through cinematics, this is one of the first games that I felt like this is my game to an extent. I'm going to word it like that, to an extent, because obviously I'm still not that good at it, but it's one of the better games that it's probably the best game I'm good at. It introduced me to a whole new world of gaming. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what really that this existed. The first thing that I saw was Reinhardt, which is why I have him. It's why Reinhardt's so dear and close to my heart, is because of the game. I remember watching the cinematic for him, and I was like, you're telling me there's a guy with a shield and a hammer in a shooting game? Sounds about right for me. And that's literally that is what attracted me to Overwatch, was that fact right there. The fact that there was a shooter game with a guy with a sword, with a shield and a sword and a hammer. I keep saying sword. A hammer, right? I was like, yeah, I'm in. And then since then, as y'all know, we have Hammond back there, and but I was at one point I was grinding like 4 to 8 hours of ranked competitive Overwatch a day on Xbox, right? Like just trying my best to get better at the game, improve my standings, and just go from there, right? So and as the game has gone on, it's still one of those things where it's like I don't play it as much on stream anymore, simply because when I do play it, I want to play with people, and it's tough for me to like and enjoy the game if I'm not playing with people. And I know that sounds weird to say, but that's just how it is. Overwatch 2 coming out has been huge because I've gotten Rob into it. It is cross-play. Panix is going to get back into it. John will probably get it when it's free. So eventually, it's one of those things where it's like when that game comes out later this year, it's going to be making a big comeback on stream. It already has made a big comeback on stream. I mean, my Wednesday and Tuesday nights now are just Overwatch nights. That's what we do, right? For like 3 to 4 hours, we play Overwatch. And I'm glad to have it back because it thoroughly is the most enjoyable game that I have. Like I said, even though I get ragey at points, it's more of a like I know I should be playing better sort of rage. But yeah, just a quick off the top of my dome piece. There is my top 5 video games of all time: the OG Pokemon, Madden, NCAA football, AC, Brotherhood, Black Flag, Timefall 2, Apex Legends, and then Overwatch. And for everyone out there, John put his in chat, and John's is going from 5 down. It is Super Smash Brothers, Pokemon Gen 1, Civilization, the original DOS version, Diablo 2, and then StarCraft, the original, and the Brood War. Out of all of those, I've played 2 of them. I know of one of them. Other than that, maybe Civilization? I don't know. But with that being said, that is where we will end it tonight. Let's see here. I don't want to do unpopular opinion. You know what? Here we're gonna do like a positivity thing. How about that? We're gonna do a positivity thing, right? Well, here this is what it will be, right? Because this is something that I see every now and then on TikTok, and when I see it, it hits me. Just because it's one of those things where I do have problems with believing certain things that are said, and that's just from a long laundry list of people abusing mentally and verbally abusing me, that I considered close friends or people that I was interested in or liked / loved. So sometimes it's hard for me to fully agree when people say things, or to fully believe them. But every now and then I see this one on TikTok that does get to me, and literally all it is just you're doing great. It might be tough right now, but you're doing a good job. Keep it up. I'm proud of you. And I just want to let everyone know that right now. That like even though things might be tough right now, you are doing a good job. And I am fucking proud of you for making it through another day. Because the list of people that I can't say that to anymore seems to grow every year. So yeah. I'm proud of you for making it through another day. And with that being said, before I do choke myself up a little bit too much, let me know what your top 5 video game moments or top 5 video games of all time. What yours are, your personal list. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be Barbie Adventure, Dreamland 1 through 9, right, for your top 5. Don't care. Let me know down in the comments down below. And as always, depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we'll talk to y'all later. I love you all. Bye.